2001. You're in your mom's midnight blue Honda Odyssey on the way to school, listening to Drops of Jupiter by Train on the radio for the 50th time. You can't wait to get to school to talk to your friends about Shrek and Monsters Inc., two unseeming animated hits that came out earlier in the year that are the fuel for all of your group's inside jokes. And a small bubbling tech company is about to announce their newest operating system, Mac OS X. That company's name is Apple. Now in 2020, I know it's almost impossible to believe that a world existed where things like Shrek haven't been memed to death and Mac OS X isn't widely available. And I know you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with Totally Spies? But let me just bring this to your attention. I believe that 2001 possibly had the best lineup for cartoons ever. Just to name a few, we have Baby Looney Tunes, The Fairly Odd Parents, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, Invader Zim, Justice League, Oswald, Proud Family, Samurai Jack, and after hours of research and digging around the internet, it's come to my attention that two gentlemen by the name of David Michael and Vincent DeMerce are the original creators of Totally Spies. It seems that they noticed a growing popularity with girl bands and female singers in the early 2000s and wanted to capitalize on the niche by bringing an anime-inspired TV show to American television. They also wanted to brand this by creating an X Factor type of show that would form a real three-piece girl band with the Totally Spies. However, that never came to fruition, and so what we were left with was the Totally Spies ABC Family premiere in 2001. If you guys wouldn't mind leaving a like on this video, as well as subscribing with notifications on, that way you get notified every single time that I upload, that would mean the absolute world to me. However, let's not waste another second and totally get into this show right here. Now, right off the bat, the show sets the stage in Tokyo by displaying a record shop where Ricky Mathis, overnight sensation, is having his new single Rock Legend placed all over the shelves. Outside, there is a group of fans who are more ravenous than any K-pop stand that I've ever seen on Twitter. I don't even know if Beyonce's Beehive could match the level of fanaticism that's coming out of these people. So Rock Legend must be the greatest song of all time. Back at Beverly High, we are introduced to our main protagonists, the Totally Spies, Sam, Clover, and Alex, who are arguing over who is going to be able to wear Sam's sweater.
Don't be crazy, Alex. We can't possibly wear Sam's sweater at the same time. We'll totally stretch it out.
No, Clover, I meant, aren't I your best friend too?
Aww. Well, of course you are, silly. And that's why I'm gonna borrow your leopard print sandals tomorrow.
Clover notices her blue-eyed Johnny Bravo guitar strumming lover sitting on the fountain outside.
Yeah, what's with all the drool?
I think I'm in love. Must find out who he is. Hi.
Now Clover teleports over to this man while he's playing guitar, and I don't know if she's the Flash, maybe there was a crossover going on in this episode, but I have no idea how Clover got out here so fast. Maybe this is part of the spy training we haven't seen yet, but Clover, give me your calisthenics training, please, I need to know. Right as Clover is falling in love with her twin brother, that is when her arch nemesis Mandy is introduced.
Sorry, Clover. Damon's already got plans after school. He's going to the mall with yours truly.
Oh yeah, that's right. The mall.
Oh yeah, that's right. You totally forgot that you had a girlfriend with purple eyes you were going to the mall with. Okay, Damon. So after the extreme burn that Clover has experienced, she is now sulking and sitting with her two best friends, the other spies, Sam and Alex, and they are consoling her, making sure that she feels good, even though Mandy got to Damon before her. But that's not going to stop Clover. She has a plan.
I just can't help liking Damon. Call me crazy, but I just have this thing for musicians. I've got to find a way to get his attention off of Mandy and onto me.
Or perhaps she'll fall into a plan.
Oh, no.
So after falling deeper than Darth Maul himself, the girls ride Space Mountain down to their spy headquarters, home of the World Organization of Human Protection, otherwise known as WHOOP. Now here we are introduced to probably the best character, or at least my favorite character in the show, Alfred from Jerry.
Well, so nice of you girls to drop in.
Now you cannot convince me that there's another character in the world that has a better pencil stash than my man Jerry right here. No, don't even throw another contender out. I don't want to hear it. Jerry's the best. Leave a comment below if you love that stash. Now, I don't know who directed this episode, but it had to be J.J. Abrams because these are Star Trek 08 levels of lens flares going on. Look at this projector.
Ricky Mathis? Never heard of him.
This is where Jerry lets the girls know that they're gonna have to go on a mission around the world as a girl group on tour with Ricky Mathis to help find out what is making his fans so crazed over that new single.
Now, all we need is a name.
Actually, ladies, we've already taken care of your name.
We're called the Spies? That is so lame.
Yeah, totally unimaginative.
It was my idea.
Oh.
Now, for coming out in 2001, this is probably the grooviest, most 70s private plane design I've ever seen in my entire life. They have purple beads coming out from the cockpit, as well as a fuzzy purple footrest. That's almost as bad as my mom's green shag rug that she used to tell me about. So now we're at the part of the episode where Jerry is going to introduce the girls to their gadgets. In this episode, we're going to have
Expandable cable bungee belt, the Wind Tunnel 3000 Tornado Blast hairdryer, the suction cup-bottomed go-go boot, the ultra-sensitive earring microphone, and my personal favorite, a potty.
Up whatty?
No, not up watty, up watty.
After being given boots, a hairdryer, and a puati, the girls arrive in London to practice for their first show, and they are immediately swarmed by crazy Ricky fans who are disappointed when they find out that it's the Spies and not Ricky himself. The girls finally arrive to their hotel room, and I don't know what's going on and who has a fetish for the 70s. Maybe it was one of the old male creators of this show, but he needs to let go, man, because this is 2001, and that plane had 70s decor. This hotel has 70s decor. What's up with the 70s decor? I had one lava lamp growing up. This hotel room has 2 lava lamps that touch the ceiling and the floor. But I digress. Clover only has one important thing on her mind right now, and of course that's not the mission. It's talking to Damon. So she gives Damon a call, who answers while he's in the middle of his date with Mandy. If I was Mandy, Damon is getting dropped right there. I don't go to Chipotle with you so you can talk to your ex-boyfriend or the guy you just met at the mall yesterday. You are not getting that burrito bowl. I am sorry.
Hello?
Hi, Damon. It's Clover. Just thought I'd call to see what's happening stateside.
I don't know what's going on stateside, but I'm hanging out at the mall. So what's up with you, Clover?
Oh, the usual. My band, the Spies, is touring with Ricky Mathis.
So Clover can't help but tell Damon the new information that as of yesterday, she is a worldwide recording artist. Maybe not the best thing as a spy to be letting the kids know at your school what you're doing when you're supposed to be undercover. However, if you thought this couldn't get more 70s, don't play yourself right now. The epitome of a greasy, slimy 70s band manager walks into the room, and his name is
Phil Jenkins, the tour manager. Ricky's very anxious to meet you. What do you say we head up to the penthouse?
Great song.
Thanks, I just wrote it.
We're scheduled to record Ricky's new song tomorrow morning. I'm sure it's gonna be his next big hit.
We're sure it will be too. We're thrilled to be touring with such great musical talent.
The feeling's mutual. I just adore your early work.
We have early work?
Now look, Jerry has to be the best spy boss of all time because Ricky says that he enjoys these girls' early work for their band. They just became a band yesterday. What early work could they have?
Okay, everybody, we don't want to keep those hungry fans waiting.
So here is where we have our girls experiencing their first live performance. However, they're not performing live. They're actually playing with an audio track in the background. And Clover is listening to the radiating CD through her CD player and her headphones. Now this, she says, is infectious. After the girls finish their very first performance at the nightclub, they head backstage, and in passing, Ricky compliments them on their lip syncing ability. Now, as someone who's an overnight sensation, you would hope that he has the ability to actually perform live. Where the girls are spies, it makes sense for them to have a backtrack, but not for him. However, he says that it was recommended to him by Phil. So after this show, the girls continue to travel all around the world, but they have to get to that next studio session that Ricky invited them to. So they go to an island off the coast of Venezuela. I don't know if that's even a real place. I think it might be a mix between Brazil and Venezuela. But on this shore is a yacht with a satellite bigger than any government or NASA satellite that I've ever seen. On the island, however, is the recording studio itself, so the girls make their way up there with Phil and Ricky. However, Ricky just finished laying down the musical aspect of his new song, but when he goes in to lay down the vocals, Phil interrupts him and gives him some new lyrics that aren't so subtle in their meaning.
Why don't we lay down the lyrics?
I'm Ricky and I'm your master. Follow me as I spread disaster. Take over the government, do as I say. I'll rule the world and you'll obey? Phil, I sort of didn't intend for the new song to be so aggressive.
So 13 minutes into the episode, we're finally given our first little bit of spy action, which for a show called Totally Spies seems a little bit out of place, but whatever, it's 2001. Sam and Alex are creeping down into the lower levels of the island, and they run into Phil and a gentleman with the most 70s mustache of all time. Everything's 70s in this episode, so let's just get used to that. They go into hiding immediately, and right above them, they start playing a new CD. This is where things get really crazy though, and Maximilian Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows up. No, I'm just kidding. This is a guy who was mentioned earlier in the episode, a guitarist who lost his arm in a pyrotechnics accident. However, it seems like he's doing a Maximilian cosplay because he looks 100% like him with the most doofus looking bodyguard in the background. So Maximilian, Phil, and Mustache Man sit the doofus bodyguard down in a chair solidified in an echo chamber of glass, and they play him the new CD, and it works as a hypnotizing device on him. Now this is in perfect display for Alex and Sam, so they know 100% what is going on, and that Phil is literally brainwashing Ricky's entire audience. The plan has been discovered, and now all they have to do is remain calm and be secretive until they leave the room. Now I guess this one-armed guitarist had a surgery for a bionicle arm that wasn't only just a replacement but also like a strength enhancer, because this man one-handed pulls up an entire metal desk that's above Alex and Sam. I don't know how they were noticed in the first place. It's not covered at all, but this man is the Hulk, bro. Like, how did he lift that? So the girls make their best effort to escape. However, their plans are quickly foiled by getting trapped in a giant air bubble, something from like the Disney XD games that used to happen back in the day, and they are trapped in the recording studio. Now, in classic cartoon villain fashion, cosplay Maximilian reveals his entire plan to Sam and Alex and leaves them in the room unwatched and unguarded. The girls escape by playing their instruments as loud as possible. I think that's honestly a metaphor for life and music in general. If you make as much noise as possible, you're gonna get the best results. You should never be subtle and never be quiet and let things slide. Always make sure you're harsh and brash and making the most noise, right guys? Maybe that's just how it works on the internet. So after the girls escape the recording booth, they put on their aquatic outfits and go underwater to steal jet skis. However, even the jet skis are guarded. How come they weren't guarded, but even these jet skis on a dock are guarded? Like, everything is guarded but them. So after stealing the jet skis, the girls show up to the Brizuela Mega Stadium where Ricky is about to perform for his largest crowd ever. We are talking Shakira numbers here. We are talking Pitbull Mr. 305 numbers here at the Brizuela Mega Stadium. Now, the girls show up with just enough time to let him know about the diabolical plan that Sebastian and Phil have been working on to take over the world. However, Phil and Sebastian are not going to let things go that easily. They decide to aim the satellite at the crowd even without Ricky performing. However, Sam comes up with a last-minute plan to thwart them.
That's it. Time to get rid of those annoying spies once and for all.
It is so wonderful. You're Ricky and you're our master. You're Ricky and you're our master.
So when all things are said and done, Jerry and the other agents from the Whoop organization show up and they arrest Sebastian and Phil for all the wrongdoing that they have committed. Now, the girls are sitting here, completed their mission with coffee and blankets and tea and cups of joe. Ricky is here, probably just so devastated to the fact that he actually hasn't had any effect on people with his music. So with Clover's newfound growth, Sam and Alex are extremely proud of her. They say they can't believe that she just turned down Damon, and Clover lets them know that honestly, with touring worldwide and everything they just dealt with, she's over musicians. However, that doesn't last long.
I guess this means she's back into musicians.
Something tells me she never got over them.
In fact, if you don't have lunch plans, you can buy me a non-fat latte, and I'll give you a tour of the school.
So So that's gonna wrap it up for episode 1 of Totally Spies. I'd love to know what you guys thought about the episode down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe with notifications on. That way you get notified every single time that I upload. From Clover trying to get Damon to fall in love with her, to the girls becoming worldwide touring musicians, and then thwarting the plan that Sebastian and Phil had to take over the world. This episode had so many twists and turns that it was honestly enjoyable. I really think they struck gold with this one. Michael and Vincent went on to try and create other shows. However, none of them came to as close to the success of Totally Spies, having 6 seasons and spanning 12 years, like I said in the beginning of the video. This is honestly a great show, and I can't believe that I forgot about it as much as I did. If there's any other TV shows you guys want me to take a look at from back in the day, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I had a great time making this, and I hope you had just as much fun watching. However, that is where I'm going to wrap this up. My name's MJ with Planet Nerd. Peace out, guys.